Cody from WhistlinDiesel has finally bought a Ferrari, and if you haven't seen the video by now, I highly suggest you check it out. But the main topic is about whether or not he will receive a cease and desist from Ferrari's legal team. And so today you're watching Auto Anorak, and let's find out how or if he will get sued by Ferrari. WhistlinDiesel has already done some crazy stuff to his Ferrari. It's an F8 Tributo that's got upgraded larger wheels, a mad tune, and a wild titanium exhaust system that sounds glorious. To a lot of people, this already seems like enough to get the Ferrari lawyers typing up a draft straight away. On top of that, he's jumped on this car, gone on top of the roof, bending it in the process, and even driven it into a gate. Not to mention his various off-road escapades. So let's break these down in comparison to some of the previous examples of Ferrari's legal team being not so happy with their customers. And I would firstly like to say that the views expressed in this video are my opinion, and there may be discrepancies in my research that have led to an ill-informed opinion that should not be treated as fact. Just thought I'd cover some legal things there. The most well-known case was, of course, deadmau5's Nyan Cat Ferrari, in which he wrapped the car and tampered with the logo. Now, a lot of people think that this case means no one can wrap their Ferrari in a crazy way like a Nyan Cat or pink wrap, but that simply doesn't seem to be the case. Ferrari don't appear to be bothered by people wrapping cars like this, but instead seem to be bothered about you tampering with their brand. If Ferrari had allowed that to happen, then it may have set a precedent that you can assign your own name to their product without issue, and Ferrari have to be careful about this, as if anyone were to rebadge and sell Ferraris as their own type of car, this could open them up to the argument that Ferrari do not mind this practice. In simple terms, they would be losing money to people selling their products under a different name. Although, one could argue this is overkill, as deadmau5 wasn't selling these cars, and other brands like Lamborghini do not seem to care about this. Again, in another instance, an influencer kept putting his products beside the Ferrari badge when promoting them on his Instagram. This makes the most sense to me, as it makes Ferrari appear associated to this brand, and the promotion obviously wasn't approved by them. Stuff like this can seriously affect a brand image, and brand image is so important for a company like Ferrari. These two examples lead me to believe that WhistlinDiesel doesn't actually have that high of a chance of getting sued by Ferrari. Yes, he did tamper a bit with the badge, but it was literally just with a marker, not permanently, and yes, I genuinely feel that applying a tiny bit of marker to the badge was probably the closest thing that he got to receiving a letter from Ferrari in his recent video. People like Rob Ferretti have smashed Ferrari windshields, DD have taken Ferraris off-road and drilled holes in the front for spotlights. Tons of people have stood on Ferraris, and yet they don't seem to have got any flack from the company. Why is this? Because they aren't affecting Ferrari's brand image or sales directly. This is why people are able to wrap Ferraris, put new wheels and exhaust on them, and it doesn't seem to be a problem. When the real problems arise is when you start taking money away from them. 7X Design made their GTO iteration, which to be fair did seem to be taking a lot of names from Ferrari's history and plastering it over their own creation, which they were selling at an extreme premium. The issue with this is that it may confuse people into thinking it's a real Ferrari, and so if there are any defects with the car, they could possibly negatively affect Ferrari's brand image. There's also the argument that it could drive sales away from Ferrari's own limited edition models, which is clearly something no business would be happy about. Cody hasn't done this by putting an exhaust and new wheels in his car. It doesn't seem to make him a threat to their brand or sales. So, how might Cody risk getting sued by Ferrari in his future videos? To me, there are a couple of things that could get him in trouble. One is merch that involves the Ferrari brand. That's giving the brand negative brand association and potentially profiting from the Ferrari brand unfairly, especially if he chops the car into pieces and sells it in jars. Next involves tampering with the logo. What he's done already probably isn't enough to constitute a letter, but replacing it with his own WhistlinDiesel brand logo, for example, could get him into trouble, and I wouldn't rule this out for him. Part of me thinks that he wants to receive this letter, and that by the end of the series, he'll have committed all of the deadly sins that will get you on Ferrari's bad side. Finally, if he ends up doing a durability test and presents something about the car that may be deemed as misrepresentation of the car's performance, then Ferrari may not like this, as it negatively affects their brand, having cars portrayed as unreliable or prone to braking. That's why, if this test continues the way it's going, with the car having impressive durability in difficult conditions, it may actually uplift their brand image by increasing the perceived reliability and durability of Ferrari vehicles. This is a twist to this whole WhistlinDiesel Ferrari thing that people may not have thought of, that Ferrari might technically actually sort of like him doing this durability test. I should also mention that people tend to get mixed up between Ferrari sending a cease and desist and Ferrari blacklisting customers. Ferrari have allegedly put people on their blacklist. The blacklist is very different to being sued, and yeah, do you reckon Cody's on it by now? Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, And yeah, let me know in the comments. Do you think he's going to get sued? Let me know in the comment section below. But that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.